Hey, Tech 7 here. Let me show you my welding setup I got here in the garage. It's nothing crazy. I'm not building any like 10-second cars or anything like that. I'm just working on my pickem up truck. Down below, I got a 110 volt Megaroni. Up top, we got the 220 combo unit, TIG, stick, plasma, 110 bottle on the back. You know, like I said, nothing crazy. I'm just playing around in the garage. And I just want to say, a little disclaimer, I'm not a professional welder. I got grade 10 welding, that's about it. You see here, a couple of bags I picked up at the local hardware store to hold the accoutrements. You know, a mid-grade helmet. I'm not doing this 8 hours a day, you know what I'm saying? The instructions, a little thin. I gotta say, you know, they's a little thin, but they got me going. I can't say they didn't not have some information in there, but if you need more information and you want something a little bit more comprehensive, you can always just download the PDF. It's 2023. Put it on the tablet. Boom. It's nothing crazy to hook it up. I'm just changing over from the CO2 to the air, and this is a hose that comes with the unit. It comes up from a little air oil separator type air regulator type device, and real simple. You know, I just screwed it to the side of the cart that I got there, and then I just plug it into the compressor with the airline. Boom, ready to go. For a compressor, again, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not painting like full vehicles, and you know, there's all the specs. You can read it. This is the exact one I have. If you feel like you want to go pick one up. So I'm just gonna show you everything that this kind of machine that you, a guy in the garage, same as me, can do. Once again, I'm using 220. And you can also use 110. It works fantastic. But I have the 220, like I said, so I'm using the 220. Right here, I'm hooking up the plasma setup so I can cut some steel, make some coupons, weld them out, and then you can kind of see everything that you can do with this setup in the garage. So for material, you know, I talked to my friend that builds hot rods. This is the stuff he's using. It's good enough for him. Hey, I'm just in the garage here, right? So it's about this thick in millimeters, and it's this thick in inches. There you go. Okay, I got my material selected. So I'm first gonna mark it up, lay it out for the plasma cuts that I want to make a bunch of coupons to weld together and show you what this thing can do. So I got the material all clamped up, plasma fired up, and immediately problems. Problems. It's not going well. Look at that. That looks like trash. So I got to start looking at the setup. So you can see here, as soon as I go to check the setup, my first problem.
What are those?
I'm wearing Japanese mechanics gloves, and this is what happens when you do so using a plasma cutter. In the comments already, the eagle-eyed viewers among you would have also noticed I don't have the machine set right for the thickness of material that I'm trying to work with. I'm from Fox Vegas. We like to run it wide open, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I've turned up the machine. I go to make a cut. It kind of cuts, but I'm still like, this is not how this was working the first time I pulled it out of the box. So something else must be amiss. Just look at the condition of that torch. Obviously, that's no good. It's consumable parts, very simple to change. So I just did that, fired up a test cut, ripped perfect, back to the main event. Here we can see the material cut up, and right away you can see the difference in the cut quality from turning up the machine. The heat affected zones from the first cut to the last cut, night and day difference, right? Okay, so dialed in. I'm cutting the rest of the coupons here, and you know, I want to show you a good example of how you can go from being a total noob to playing around in your garage a little bit, figuring out how the machine works, and and getting the settings such that you can be making these cuts almost looking like a machine did them, right? Now, on that note, if you was thinking about getting like an arc droid or one of them Langmite things to hold the torch for you, and you was wondering if this is gonna play around with the electronics, it's a go. You can totally use this with either one of those systems and it'll be alright. Okay, so I got the macaroni all busted out here. Let me show you this thing. You know, it's not a tiny little kind of toy looking unit, but it's not a huge unit either. I'm quite surprised. It's easy to move around. It's not super heavy or anything, even with the 8-inch spool in the back there. I move it around all the time in the shop, do what I gotta do, and it works just the same as it did the first day I got it. Okay, let me go ahead and show you the inside of the macaroni. Get this thing opened up here, and right away you can see it looks like any other good quality macaroni that you used in the before at like at work or whatever. And I got the 8-inch spool on there. Just get the 8-inch spool, right? Don't be getting these 4-inch ones. Like, be a man. The front panel, you ain't gonna get confused using this thing. It's very simple, very nicely laid out, very good quality switches and buttons. Nothing to cry about there. Now I'm gonna say, for like a lower end type machine, the instructions is pretty good. You know, they's not thin, they're not missing anything, and I will show you what they look like on PDF on the tablet, but it's gonna look the same, but just on a tablet. Okay, I got it all fired up here. I gotta switch it to, you know, using the one mod steel. You come over here, you can like, they got little presets, which I find are pretty good. They get you right close to figuring out what you need to do to get it welded the way you like it to weld. You know, I'm only using 035 wires, so I can't get right up to the 3/16, so I'm just gonna have to turn it up a little bit. Just like the gas, I'm gonna go ahead and do that a little bit right here and get that to like macaroni level and get these stacked up into some coupons and weld those out for you guys. Okay, here we go. I got it all set how I want it to go, and right away here when I start welding, anybody that's a half decent welder, let alone professional type welder, is gonna know that I'm not doing everything at the optimal levels here, right? I probably got the wire speed or the amps and whatnot kind of not optimal, but again, it's a good machine. You get your setup going the way you need to go to be welding these things out right. So let me know in the comments any kind of welding tips and tricks that a guy here can do, so I can make that look a little bit more presentable, but I don't think that's gonna fall apart or anything, right? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get the machine all set up to weld with the stick, and I'll get the ground moved over with the rod holder in here. And again, it's nothing crazy to hook it up. It's very well laid out in the instructions in the PDF, so you can't mess that up. Go back to the machine, switch it for stick, you know, set the amps that you want to kind of use. Boom, easy to do. Using the stick that the instructions call for, because I'm just playing around here in the garage, and I got nothing bad to say about the stick welding capabilities of this unit. It's very good, and I'm sure you'll be able to do whatever you need to do in the garage with it. You know, let me get this cleaned up for you here and show you that, you know, I'm not rolling any pipe here or anything, but that's pretty good. Like, that's not going anywhere. It's gonna hold. Okay, so now I'm gonna set up the old macaroni, and again, nothing crazy to hook it up. It's not rocket surgery. You really can't mess it up. The only thing you got to be mindful of is when you hook up the switch, right? Like, you can either have the pedal or you can have the little switch right on the torch, which is super handy. If you want to get like really fancy, you can get like the slider type situation, so you can have like the pedal with your finger. But I'm just in the garage here. I'm not doing any kind of aircraft stuff or nothing like that. That's the tungsten that I'm using, and this is how I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen it. Like, okay, right in the comments, you're gonna be like, "This is not the way," but this is what I got. This is what I got here in the garage. However, if there's some other thing that I could be using, like, let me know so I can like have any excuse to buy a new tool and have that here. So that's the condition of the tip before I start. So here we go. Alright, again, I'm just here in the garage playing around. I'm not doing anything crazy. This is just some stuff from the hardware store. This is what it is. That's the alloys and whatnot. So, okay, here we go. One thing I gotta say, I'm running this thing for like a while. I'm not gonna like bore you with like watching it all like second for second. But believe me, it was a good minute to run that little inch there. And the machine didn't kick out. My power didn't shut off. No, I didn't get any weird noises or whatever. So the duty cycle on this is like, I could be doing like some stuff in the garage, like professionally with this thing, but like I'm just playing around. So I'm super impressed with little things like that make this a super good quality welder to have in the garage. I highly suggest you pick one up. But don't take my advice, because again, I'm not like a professional welder. But I just give my 2 cents here. Okay, even though this is not really the application for it, I'm just gonna show you how the pulse function works here. It's only got the 2 preset modes, so you can't like mess that up. Here's the one of them, and this one here is the other. And again, I'm just showing you this just to give you a sense of like what it actually looks like and what they're talking about there. Okay, and there's the weld there. It's nothing crazy, but I don't think it's gonna come apart. You saw the Tiggeroni weld. Let me just quick recap. I'm gonna show you the stick weld real quick. Again, I'm not rolling pipe here. That's gonna hold. And the Migaroni weld, same thing. I'm not out there like building skyscrapers. Hey friends, I want to thank you for sticking with me through this video. Thanks for watching. I'm probably going to do a couple more. I'm over here at the house playing around. So, you're going to hear from me, alright? Laters.